learning that the Supreme Court has been grilling the centre over the appointment of ex-IS Arun Goel as the Chief Election Commissioner. The Supreme Court Constitution Bench has now said that the file has not even travelled 24 hours. It also goes on to say that on 18th, we hear the case on the same day, you move the file on the same day. Prime Minister says, I recommend his name. Why this urgency? Let's quickly try and get in a sense of perspective, and for that I'm joined in by Ananya Bhatnagar on the phone line. Ananya, of course, the top court giving a rap to the centre over there, but if you could please contextualize this for us.
Well, definitely remember that yesterday, in fact, when the matter was being heard, remember these are petitions seeking to convert EC into autonomous body. It also seeks that a collegium-like system is adopted to, in fact, appoint the Chief Election Commissioner. Now, when the matter was proceeding yesterday, the court actually asked for Arun Goel's appointment. Remember that Arun Goel was appointed on the same day when actually the Constitution Bench started to hear this particular matter, and that's the reason why, in fact, the topmost the court of the country would have called for the files of his appointment. In fact, commenting upon that file after seeing it today, it clearly said that how can it be that in just 24 hours, not even 24 hours, in fact, such an appointment is made, the file has not even traveled for a good long 24 hours. Apart from that, it's also been said that on the same day appointment is made by the Prime Minister, the recommendation is given by the Prime Minister on the same day, all of the processes take place, and then the appointment is made. Was it done in a hasty manner? Are the questions that were asked by the topmost court of the country? The hearing would be continuing today, and we'll have to wait and watch if more and more observations come in, because remember that this is a very, very crucial matter that is going on. The Constitution Bench grilling the central government over the appointment of the Chief Election Commissioner, and this is something very, very serious going on, because Justice Rastogi, in fact, saying the same day processes, same day clearances, same day application, and same day appointment. File has not even traveled for 24 hours. It's a lightning fast appointment that is happening. So, in fact, Justice Joseph was to say, on what basis has the law minister chosen these four people? So, the Supreme Court completely going into the appointment processes and actually checking out as to whether everything was done right or not. Because remember, when the topmost court of the country had called the files yesterday, it had said that we just want to check that everything is hunky-dory and is in place, and that's the reason why we are calling for this file. But then today, when we see these observations coming in from the top court of the country, the central government seems to be in a little bit.
All right, Ananya, stay with us. I'm also joined in by Mr. Majid Memon on the phone line. Mr. Memon, important to refer to what Justice Joseph had to say. He said that he does not remember the particulars, but there was an instance when one of the election commissioners had resigned, and that there was a need for a panel and not the Council of Ministers to recommend the name. I'd like your thoughts on that.
Well, I'm glad to hear this from the Honorable Supreme Court. It is most welcome observation, because Chief Election Commission plays a dominant role in the functioning of Indian democracy. Chief Election Commission's duties, Chief Election Commission's responsibility are direct affecting democracy, and therefore, as you know,
Okay, we seem to be losing that connection with Mr. Majid Memon of the NCP, but we continue to track this big story here in CNN News 18, which is that the Supreme Court has grilled the centre over the appointment of the ex-IS Arun Goel as the Chief Election Commissioner. Now, the SC Constitution Bench has gone on to say, and I'm quoting, the file has not even travelled 24 hours. The Supreme Court has also said that it was on the 18th that we hear the case. On the same day, you move the file. On the same day, the Prime Minister says, I recommend this name. So the larger question that is being raised by the Supreme Court is why this urgency? Then, of course, you had the AG also trying to justify and saying, and I'm quoting again, I wish to remind this court that we're not a mini trial on this. Let me first bring in our legal correspondent, Ananya Bhatnagar, who in fact has been tracking all these developments for us. Ananya, before we get some reactions on what really has been said, the Supreme Court, just give us a better context of what has happened as far as this appointment is concerned.
Well, what has happened is that on the same day when the Constitution Bench actually started to hear this matter to convert EC into a autonomous body, also seeking a collegium-like system for the appointment of the CECs. On the same day, Arun Goel was appointed as the Chief Election Commissioner. And what has been found by the Supreme Court is that there is some kind of a discrepancy, and that's why the central government is being questioned by, and in fact, not even questioned, but being grilled, if I say correctly, by the topmost court of the country. Remember, this is a 5 judges Constitution Bench that is hearing this particular matter, headed by Justice K.M. Joseph, also comprising Justice Ajay Rastogi, Rishikesh Roy, and others. So what is happening at this moment of time is that the central government is being asked that how can an appointment be made in like just 24 hours? The law minister actually picks up one person from 4 names, and then the file is sent to the Prime Minister, who recommends this particular name, and then the appointment is finally made. So how can this be there that not even in 24 hours such a big appointment? Because remember, the Chief Election Commissioner is somebody who's a very, very important post. And remember that yesterday also, when the topmost court of the country was hearing this matter, it had clearly said that it wants the file to see that everything is hunky-dory or not. In fact, it has also said the CEC.
So some larger questions that